So Rav Chatzkel the Mashgiach brings down the Rambam, who says that before the preparation for Rosh Hashana is, you have to have the Yesodei Emunah. You have to have the foundations of the faith in Hashem. It has three parts. The three parts are the existence of Hashem. Hashem exists. The second is Hashgacha Pratis, that Hashem deals with all our details, takes care of every little aspect of our lives. And the third thing is that the Torah is min Shemayim. The Torah comes from God. And interestingly enough, those are the three Yesodos also in the Musaf of Rosh Hashanah. Malchios, kingship. Hashem is the king, Hashem is the melech. That is saying the existence, God exists. Zichronos is the zikaron of all the pratim, the things that happened. That's the hashgacha pratis. And shofros is, the shofar was at Sinai, Torah min Shemayim. So you see those three Yesodos, those are the famous three Yesodos of Rosh Hashanah. They're connected with the three Yesodos that the Rambam brings down of Amunah. Hashem exists, hashgacha pratis, and the Torah is min Shemayim. So the question is, why are these three things, why the Yesod of Amunah? I was thinking the Yesod of Amunah is Rosh Hashanah. That has to do with, how's that going to bring a person to do tshuva? These three particular things. I mean, why is that the Yesodos of Rosh Hashanah? Why we could have other things. What this he wants to say is, that's this piece here, Rosh Hashanah, a foundation for tshuva. The foundation for tshuva is the Amunah in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There's two parts. I mean, I see the two parts. I think it depends a lot where the person's holding. If a person has sin, and he hasn't let go of his sin yet. So when things start going haywire, he starts to, if he has these yisodas, if things goes haywire, he just writes it off. Nah, that was a mikra what happened. That was not a shkaka pratis. The guy crashed your car, the thing. Come on, it's nothing to do with, a person's not holding this Yisodis, he doesn't believe there's Hashem, he doesn't believe in Hashgacha Pratis, and he doesn't say that the Torah is min Shemayim, so there's no connection to anything. He does what he wants, things happen, and there's no connection, there's no tshuva, where's Hashem? He's not in the picture, Bakal. Why should I change myself? I don't have to change myself, everything is fine. But mikra, this guy crashed the guy's car, this kid got sick, this happened. There's nothing happening. But if the person has the Yesodis Amunus and bad things start to happen, so if he's still holding on to his sins, there's one thing that happens to the person. He hasn't let go of his sin. He just can't. He can't control himself. He can't control himself. What are you going to do? He's trying to do tshuva. He keeps trying over and over again. He's addicted. He's addicted to his sins. What is he going to do? How's he going to change himself? So then the bad things happen. What's his reaction? Well, okay, I better do tshuva. So that at least if he's a religious guy, so he believes there's Hashem, he believes there's Shkaka Pratis, and he knows that when the thing happens, he knows he has to, that thing that he can't let go of, that he has to let go of it. So that's his reaction. He does tshuva. So that's one way of looking at it. The other way, if the person has let go of his sins, the person really jumped up in Madrega. Maybe I'll do a digression for a second, which I hold as an important digression, is how does a person really let go of his sins, his addictions? How does he get out of his addictions? We're a society, an addictive society. How do we get out of it? So one of the eights they give, some people will say maybe it's too extreme. There's a thing called nadarim, even with Hashem. I mean, you never make a neder, a vow, on the thing itself. You always make a neder. You can make a neder for, I'm just giving a dugma, I'm trying to help out, to give an example, how a person can let go of his addictions. So you make a neder that you're going to give tzedakah, for example. But you double it up. You say, if I do this thing straight up and I don't learn Musar before 10 minutes, I'll give 400 hours to tzedakah. If I want to do this thing and I'm trying to stop myself, if I learn Musar for 10 minutes before on the subject, then I'll only give 200 hours tzedakah. That's the trick they use in Nadarim. But it's a very powerful thing. If a person will really take a neder, where's my ride that you can take a neder? It's perkialis. Nadarim saigla precious. So it's not made for precious, for sexual things and things like that. Maybe they'll say it's okay to take a neder. And we know by Boaz took a neder. Boaz took a neder because he knew that the root was coming, so he took a neder to stop himself. So there are certain places where a person takes a neder. So if the person, let's say they took a neder, now he's clean. I got rid of that. No. Not addicted. I can't do that. I don't want to give 400 hours to tzedakah. I mean, that's like a lot of money. I don't want to do that. So if a person really took a neder, say if you don't take a neder on the thing, because you won't be able to control yourself. But you could take a neder that if I do that, I'll do tzedakah, so you're protecting yourself. So let's say the person is clean. And now what happens? He has the Yesodus of Emunah. There's Hashem, there's Hashgacha Pratis, and everything that's happening from Hashem. So what's his reaction could be? Bad thing happens. Oh boy, I better do, there's one way, you can go back to the other side. I better do more tshuva. I'm not clean yet, I have more to do. But let's say the guy somehow, it's probably a misperception, but he feels pretty good about himself. He feels like he did a tshuva and he's really working. He sees that he jumped a madrega. He sees in his own eyes he jumped a madrega, and all of a sudden everything's going haywire. So how are the Yesodus of Emunah going to bring the guy to do more tshuva? Where's the tshuva? He's going to say, wow, look, this is Minish Shemayim. So what's the tshuva there? I think the tshuva really is Adarabah. It's not to react. It's to see. There's Hashem. You know what? Hashem is doing that thing. Kid gets kicked out of Shiva Katana. So you can flip out. Now what does that mean? You put all these meanings into it. It means he'll never be a Talmid Chacham. It means who knows what? He's going to be in the street. He's going to be on drugs. He's going to do... is that what it means? I don't know what it means. It doesn't mean all those things. It just means he get kicked out of Yeshiva Katana. Look at the Pasha. He get kicked out. So you find them another Yeshiva Katana. What do those things mean? So you can flip out. And you can say, listen, and that Hagufa is tshuva. That's my chiddush. That's Hagufa tshuva. Because you'll say, wait a second, all of a sudden a bad thing happens, and then you hold yourself together, and you don't react. How do you feel? You know how you feel? You feel great. You feel close to Hashem. But the catastrophe just happened. What do you mean? How can you feel close to Hashem? You're in the middle of a catastrophe. A kid just got kicked out of Shiva Katana, and I'll wake up and do tshuva. Yeah, but I feel, it's been a Shemayim. So that's a gufa. This is my chiddush, really. That's a gufa tshuva. That's called being close to Hashem. What do you mean close to Hashem? Hashem, I love you. I know you love me. I know what you're doing is good for me. I know it has to be, it's good for me. You have a master plan. I know you have a master plan. You have a shkaka pratis. You exist. The Torah is Minish Shemayim. I'm trying to do the mitzvahs. I'm doing everything that I can. I'm doing my best. And you keep throwing these curveballs at me, and this thing's happening, and that thing's happening, and things going haywire, this thing going haywire. But you know what? Hashem, I accept it. That's called being close to Hashem. That is close to Hashem. That's called being close to Hashem. And I'll bring you a beautiful thing that he says here at the end of this piece. He says that we do not baklau do tshuva, or he says baklau we're not involved in spirituality. Now, why are we not involved in spirituality? Hey, what do you mean I'm not involved in spirituality? I get up, I daven, I ran to the yeshiva, I'm doing it. He says we don't even have space for spirituality. Look what he says here. Man is immersed in a deep sleep. All of his thoughts are focused on the details of his material life. He's all day thinking about, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I got to do this. I got to take the kids to Gan. He's all day thinking about where I'm going to get money. Each person his own concern, which seems so important to him, occupies his whole mind. There is no room for the real human being. His mind has been possessed by the physical world. The ambitions and desires of the material world are the thing that fills his heart. Always interested in gashmis. But I'm running after ruchnius. Well, listen. The reason he doesn't realize is that, because even when he thinks he's searching for spiritual truth, his heart is occupied with worldly things. It's true he's going to the yeshiva, one of the yeshivas saying, I'm going to get the money, we're going to get the thing, I'm going to go do with this kid, I got to get a shidduch for that one. His mind is completely possessed. Each person is preoccupied according to his situation. Each one seeks a shidduch. This one is a shidduch. The other one is worried about his parnasa. The other one is worried about his kids. Some have simple material desires, while others have religious-oriented desires. Even religious-oriented desires. I want this. I want to open a yeshiva. I want to have a kola. They take up his whole heart. He says, Rav Yosef Salanter said it even clearer. We surround ourselves with unrealistic desires that can lead us to destruction. Our mind is all day obsessed with the things that we want. And we have no room for ruchnius. This is Rav Chatzkel. And he's saying something very deep. We are possessed with where am I going to get the money? Where am I going to, how am I going to get the shidduch? How am I going to open a yeshiva? How am I going to do this? And how am I going to do that? He claims that we have no room for spirituality. He says that is a thing that takes over our entire lives. He says when you blow the shofar, each person should wake up from your slumber. Each person is reminded that his body is not his identity. I saw the other day, Al Pi Kabbalah, your body is a placenta. What does that mean? Just like a baby comes out of a placenta, we go to the next world. Your body. When you're going to look back and get to the Shemayim, that was the placenta. That was me. I was the placenta. My body. If I identify myself with my body, I'm identifying myself with a placenta. Right? Each person must get to know himself, to discover the things that is disturbing from Avodas Hashem, and seek to overcome it. We're not involved in Avodas Hashem because we didn't even get there. We didn't start. Why? Because we're constantly obsessed, possessed by all these physical things. And why is that? Because we don't have the Yesodei of Emunah. If we had the Yesodei of Emunah, there's Hashem. Hashem exists. There's Hashgacha Pratis. Everything comes from Him. The Torah has been in Shemayim, and I'm keeping the Torah. I want to keep the Torah. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I know it's been in Shemayim. And I have to accept that that's really Hashem, and therefore, why don't I say, Hashem, I trust you?
When do you know that you're taking your Emunah and Bitachon as an aspirin pill?
Yeah.
Maybe you're just saying it's Hashem because you just don't have the cough to deal with this. Maybe you're saying because it's Hashem, you're taking it as an alcohol.
Lahavdil, Marx, the famous thing, is that religion is the opiate of the people. He held there was a drug. Religion is a form of a drug to novocate yourself with religion. Yeah.
So how do you know when it's really Emunah and Bitachon when you have it Hashem? When it's maybe you're just giving yourself a teruz, when you're just giving yourself
I think you're asking a good question, but I think Baruch Hashem, I think we have inside of ourselves a built-in barometer, a compass. If we have a little honesty with ourselves, we know. I think it's an intuitive. I think the answer is an intuitive thing. You're still doing those sins. So if you're still doing the sins, Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. There is a side to that where you're supposed to be happy anyway. Hasidish, you'll be happy. But there's a side to say, what are you? Baruch Hashem. Come on, buddy. You know what I mean? What do you stop doing that? Stop doing that thing. You're addicted to this thing. Stop doing that. You can't be saying Baruch Hashem. That's being opiated. You know what I mean? But if you're really cleaning your act up and you're really working yourself, Eino Chinami, you can always work the other way also. Every little thing that happens, you could say, listen, that means I have to go further. I'm not clean enough. I have to be more pure. I can't even have a thought. Even a thought, one thought. You know why that happened? I had one thought. You know why that happened to me? Because I had a thought. That thought is because why this thing happened to me. That's the other way, where you don't let go of the thing. So I think that it's an intuitive, any emotional honesty with yourself, you'll know where you're holding. If you're being honest with yourself, you're just drugging yourself up with religion. It's a good question, though. I wanted to point out one more point. When you have this attitude of real Emunah, then these big things happen, you can deal with them in 5 minutes. You can deal with them relaxed. You can deal with them in the Makor. It's almost like the example, you were going to the operating system. Or not operating, let's talk about a business. You have the CEO of the business, the head of the business, and you have 1,000 workers. 1,000 workers are out there driving. The CEO says, listen, I want you guys to now make this new software. We need this little chupchik that does this, you know what I mean? There, next thing you know, you got 1,000 guys that are typing with the machines, they're getting in the cars and they're taking taxis, and they're going, and they need to get new computers and have to buy, and they're schlepping and they're sweating, and the CEO is in his office, and he says, listen, we need to fix the little chupchik over there, right? And you got all these thousands of workers that are out there doing sweating. So what do you want to be? You want to be the workers? You want to be the guy sweating out there? Or you want to be the CEO? If you have Emunah and Bitachon, so you treat it like the CEO. What does Hashem want from me? Why does this happen? I have to fix something, you know what I mean? Or you can go out there and say, you know what I mean? No, I'm going to schlep, I have to run, I have to shidduch. And I have to go to the mirror. I have to speak to the guy. I got to speak to the guy. And everybody speak. Call him again. You want to call him again. You didn't call him one. You could be out there doing all these pools and all these actions, and you're schlepping. You're not in the operating system. If you have Emunah and Bitachon, you can handle it relaxed way. What has to be done? Think about it. What do I have to do here? What does Hashem want me to do? He wants me to run around 24/7 going through the mirror. Hey, what about you? I go up to each guy. Hey, how do you look? go through 1,000 guys. Spend your whole day looking for shidduchim. You could do that also. But if you have Yesod, so you're not going to do that. The point really is, there's 2 points here. The one point is, depending on where you're holding, let me just give a tumsis. Depending on where you're holding, if you have sin or you don't have sin, Mamanavshak, these Yesodas are going to bring you to tshuva. Because if you have sin, so you better do tshuva. And if you don't have sin, so the tshuva is to be close to Hashem. Accept it. Because Hashem, I understand. Hashem, it must be good. It has to be good. Why is it happening? It's been a Shemayim. The other thing is to this idea of just baklau, making room for spirituality, which is really Reb Chatzkel's point. That make room for spirit. Stop worrying about all your tithe, where you're going to get this, and how's it going to do this, and on top of that, I want Tosefet, I need a new car, I want new things. Baruch Hashem, we're in yeshiva, so we're less involved, but Rabbi Fenster spoke about, everybody they have to have this kind of couch, and you have to have, if you don't have that, if you didn't get the ring, and you didn't buy the watch, and you didn't do the things, come on. Drop, and it says, he says, waken from your slumbers. Each person has to be reminded his body is not his identity. And then everything's freed up. And Hashem's taking care of all that stuff. The body, what do you mean the body? Hashem's taking care of all the body stuff. Hashem's taking care of everything. What do we worry about? We just have to make, the truth is to let go of all that stuff and do what we really have to do. Okay, good Shabbos.